Hey Star Warriors, Star Geek here, to count down the top 50 best Star Wars characters from the original trilogy. While it may be 5 times more than the usual top 10, this video is a special one since so many of you have requested a list of my favorite Star Wars characters. Before we get started, I'm going to remind you to stick around past the credits of this video and every video after this one for a special clip or surprise. We have a lot to get through, so let's hop right into it. Buzzing his way into spot number 50 is the bug-like bounty hunter, Zuckuss. Though he only appears for a few seconds in episode 5, Zuckuss is one of, what I call, the Great Six bounty hunters. Even in last place, Zuckuss will work hard to catch his bounty and find a way to be the best. Next time.
There will be a substantial reward for the one who finds the Millennium Falcon.
Gelling his hair into spot number 49 is General Crix Madine. Even if his real time to shine was cut out of the final film, this hairpiece with the pointer definitely deserves to make it onto this list. Somewhere.
A strike team will land on the moon and deactivate the shield generator.
Grunting their way into spot number 48 are the Gamorrean Guards. These boar-like sentries fit perfectly into the surroundings of Jabba's palace, even acting as a snack for the household pet. The squealing green pigs that came before any Angry Birds are some of the most unique Star Wars aliens out there, and got their way into spot 48. Clanking his way into spot number 47 is the Robo-Bug bounty hunter, 4-LOM. Zuckuss' greatest companion and android lookalike has the body of a protocol but the head of a fly. As a little fun fact, 4-LOM is actually an acronym for the love of money. One of the Great Six bounty hunters, though only appearing once, 4-LOM is still a great character at spot 47.
You are free to use any methods necessary.
Gyrating her way into spot number 46 is Oola, Jabba's slave girl. The green-skinned Twi'lek danced to her demise after getting in a fatal game of tug-of-war with the Hutt Master himself. She showed us how ruthless Jabba could be, which gets her place. Speaking her way into spot number 45 is Mon Mothma. One of the only female humans in the Star Wars universe, Mon Mothma is one of the best rebel leaders. Just know that many Bothans died to get her into 45th place.
Many Bothans died to bring us this information.
Tossing their way into spot number 44 are the Ugnaughts. These little junkers work the incinerators on Cloud City in episode 5 and seem to have a knack for playing sports with droid heads. Being the practical miniature versions of the Gamorrean Guards, the Ugnaughts score close to their larger alien brethren. Speaking Haya into spot number 43 is Nien Nunb. The pronunciation of this character's name ranges from Nine Nub, Nien Nub, and Ni Nun, so please be open to different interpretations. The Celestin co-pilot to Lando Calrissian during the attack on the second Death Star delights everyone with his giddy demeanor and quick-speaking tongue. Though he doesn't say much we can understand, he is always one of the first aliens I think of when it comes to Star Wars.
Don't worry, my friend's down there.
Commanding a group of AT-ATs at spot number 42 is General Veers. Best recognized as a general during the Battle of Hoth, General Veers is one of the foremost Imperial officers. Only featured for a short time, he definitely gave off a sense of villainy, representing the Empire in spot 42.
Yes, Lord Vader. I've reached the main power generators. The shield will be down in moments. You may start your duty.
Torturing her way into spot number 41 is EV-99. Cruel humor and a love for torturing droids, EV-99 can be found in Jabba's dungeons, making robotic life hard for her subordinates. Even with a relatively small role, this maniacal droid has always been an interesting addition to the Star Wars universe.
We have been without an interpreter since our master got angry with our last protocol droid and disintegrated him.
We are 10 down, and now onto the top 40 best Star Wars characters. Pouring blue milk at number 40 is Aunt Beru. She may not be featured in the most action-packed scenes, but her role as Luke's adopted mother is as iconic as blue milk itself. Even if Bocce isn't her native language, Aunt Beru definitely feels like a wise old mentor.
Luke's just not a farmer, Owen. He has too much of his father in him.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Eating his way into spot number 39 is Jack Porkins. This pudgy X-Wing pilot made his way into the Star Wars archives as one of the best C-list characters in the galaxy. If his only flaw is not knowing when to pull up, then Porkins is by far one of the quirkiest fan favorites.
I can hold it. Pull up! No, I'm all right.
Waddling his way into spot number 38 is Wicket the Ewok. This little man-bear pig is one of the most prominently featured Ewok of the tribe, with pokes, head turns, and sick moves on the dance floor.
Nagu, aku tak. Oh my, the Princess Leia.
Playing their way into spot number 37 is Figrin Dawn in the modal nodes. These biths have claimed their spot after their iconic Cantina song hit in episode 4. Not only do they have an incredibly unique design, the alien band is a constant reminder of the diversity in Star Wars, getting them into 37th. Zapping their way into spot number 36 are the Jawas. The very first creatures we see from the saga, the Jawas always make sure to snatch up any droid they come across for a chance at scoring some big credits. Hidden under their hoods, the mystery of these little thieves, along with their fun alien tongue, brings them into popularity. Glaring his way into spot number 35 is Admiral Piet. Continuously getting promoted, Admiral Piet always seems to be present for Vader's daily dose of force choking. If it wasn't for his death on the Executor, and his apparent distaste for bounty hunters, it would have been fun to see him return for episode 7.
You are in command now, Admiral Piet.
Thank you, Lord Vader.
Raiding their way into spot number 34 are the Tusken Raiders, also referred to as Sand People by some racist Tatooinians. These body-wrapped creatures ride in single-filed lines on their banthas, looking for someone to whack their gaffy stick against. Looting and stealing, these creatures are some of the best figures in the galaxy. Wrapping his way into spot number 33 is Dengar, another top 6 bounty hunter, only appearing for a few seconds. This armored assassin chose to wrap his head in toilet paper. Boba's best friend and loyal ally, Dengar collects his bounty at spot 33.
Bounty hunters. We don't need that scum.
Yes, sir.
Short-circuiting his way into spot number 32 is R5-D4. If it wasn't for a bad motivator and 3PO's quick thinking, this little red astromech droid could have easily replaced R2 on the adventures. But considering he sacrificed his components to save the galaxy, R5-D4 definitely deserves this place.
Uncle Owen!
Yeah?
It's R2, you another bad motivator, look!
Missing their way into spot number 31 are the Stormtroopers. The Imperial soldiers that have a knack for missing their mark are one of the most iconic Star Wars symbols. Clad in gleaming white armor with emotionless masks, these infantrymen are some of the best Star Wars characters. And we can't forget the famed TK-421 and headbanging Stormtrooper.
What was that? That's nothing.
Now we're on to the top 30 best Star Wars characters. Tickling the ivories into spot number 30 is Max Rebo. Chubby blue elephant and one of Jabba's greatest musicians, the Maxter is a legend among geeks. Being Ortolan and too fat to move from his seat, he is actually one of the skinniest of his species. Who doesn't love Max Rebo in 30th place?
Because he's holding a thermal detonator!
Chugging his way into spot number 29 is Ponda Baba. Wanted in 12 systems and always having to make a fuss, this Cantina bargoer stumbled into trouble when he upset a Jedi Master and got his arm cut off. One of the more iconic aliens on Tatooine, this one-armed creature deserves this spot.
He doesn't like you.
I'm sorry.
Cackling his way into spot number 28 is Salacious B. Crumb. Jabba's hysterical pet and palace jester stands out amongst the eclectic gathering of alien species in Jabba's horde. With a tiresome laugh and a forte for chewing things up, Salacious B. Crumb is one of the quirkiest villains in Star Wars history.
My eyes start to help!
Growling his way into spot number 27 is Bosk, another one of the great 6 bounty hunters. This reptilian creature spends his days glaring at Imperial officers and collecting bounties. Miming his way into spot number 26 is Lobot. Lando's personal aide tends to keep his mouth shut and do as he's told. Bald and sporting a stylish computerized headband, Lobot is connected to Cloud City's computer database. Always nodding, staring, and pointing, Lobot is one of the most one-dimensional characters the saga has to offer, but we still love him. Speeding their way into spot number 25 are the Scout Troopers. By far my favorite type of Imperial troops, the Scout Troopers not only have the coolest armor design, but the best form of transportation. Menacing masks, great speeders, and very fun personalities. Piloting his way into spot number 24 is Wedge Antilles, the only real X-Wing pilot survivor throughout the original trilogy. That's a pretty big accomplishment, surviving through the Battle of Yavin, the Battle of Hoth, and the attack on the second Death Star. The best X-Wing pilot of them all, Wedge, gets 24th.
I see it, Wedge. Good work.
Creeping his way into spot number 23 is Bib Fortuna. Jabba's main henchman and right-hand man, this pale-skinned Twi'lek fits perfectly into the palace surroundings. Bib Fortuna is by far the creepiest Star Wars character, making you feel uncomfortable in every scene.
No shot!
Redeeming his way into spot number 22 is Anakin Skywalker. The good side of Darth Vader is a likable view on the villain we had come to know so well. Sebastian Shaw conveys a perfect Anakin, with a warm smile and an exemplary end to the Skywalker legacy.
You were right about me. Tell your sister. You were right.
Gonking their gonk into gonk number 21 are the gonk droids. I may be a bit biased here considering my channel mascot, Gary the Gonk Droid, blackmailed me into placing him here, but who doesn't love the bipedal boxes? A flawless look with a flawless sound, gonk droids take 21st place. Up next, the top 20 best Star Wars characters. Spearing their way into spot number 20 are the Royal Guards. These Imperial sentries have an ominous feel about them, somehow letting you know how dangerous they are without even saying a word. Red-clad robes and helmets make them stand out amongst the dull black, gray, and white of the Empire. Emperor Palpatine's personal soldiers are as cool as they come.
Guards, leave us.
Grumbling his way into spot number 19 is Uncle Owen. Luke's adopted father and mentor growing up, Uncle Owen plays a large part in his nephew's journey. If he hadn't been burnt alive along with his wife, Luke wouldn't have had the motivation to head onwards to Alderaan. Always working hard on the moisture evaporator farm, and trying to get Luke to stay on for one more year, Uncle Owen claims the 19th spot.
Have you seen Luke this morning?
He said he had some things to do before he started today, so he left early.
Did you take those 2 new droids with him?
I think so.
Well, you better have those units in the South Range repaired by midday, or there'll be hell to pay.
Trapping his way into spot number 18 is Admiral Akbar. This Mon Calamari knows how to navigate his way around a battle station and command a battalion. With a perfect alien design, this giant humanoid fish squid really catches your eye amongst a crowd of Corellians, and we can always trust him to know when it's a trap.
Admiral, we have enemy ships in Sector 47! It's a trap!
Frowning his way into spot number 17 is Grand Moff Tarkin. The only real Imperial officer who could talk down to Vader, Wilhuff Tarkin can destroy a whole planet with a snap of his fingers. Even if he only made an appearance in Episode 4, and a short one in Episode 3, Tarkin is by far the most popular of gray-suited men on board the Death Star.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Enough of this. Vader, release him.
As you wish.
Mumbling his way into spot number 16 is Greedo. This Rhodian bounty hunter may be a terrible aim and the cause of the biggest Star Wars controversy, but his unique design and large role in Episode 4 makes him an incredibly iconic character. There's no better A New Hope alien than Greedo himself.
Yes, Greedo. As a matter of fact, I was just going to see your boss. Tell Jabba that I've got his money.
Following his way into spot number 15 is Grand Moff Jar Jared. While some of you may not recognize Jar Jared as well as others, this Imperial officer is actually my favorite. A large portion of his greatest moments were cut from the film, but if you watch those deleted scenes, you would know just how expanded his character could get. Confronting Vader, commanding troops, and choosing whether or not to destroy a whole planet, Grand Moff Jar Jared is one of the most intriguing characters in the galaxy.
But he asked the impossible. I need more men.
Then perhaps you can tell him when he arrives.
The Emperor's coming here?
That is correct, Commander.
Assassinating his way into spot number 14 is IG-88. This tall assassin doesn't make much of an appearance during the trilogy, but he stands out quite well. With a recycled head from the Mos Eisley Cantina, and one of the coolest droid bodies ever, this crazed droid became one of the great 6 bounty hunters, and one of the best Star Wars characters from Episode 5.
But I want them alive. No disintegrations.
As you wish.
Sliming his way into spot number 13 is Jabba the Hutt. One of the most iconic movie villains of all time, Jabba lazes about in his palace, relaxing and torturing people for his amusement. This Hutt crime lord is one of the best gangsters in the galaxy, which is why he's in 13th place.
What's that?
I know that laugh.
Shocking his way into spot number 12 is Emperor Palpatine. The most evil villain in the Star Wars saga, this ruler of the galaxy knows how to fill his enemies with fear. With a croaky voice and a menacing laugh, Sheev Palpatine puppeteers Vader and his Imperial army to follow his every command. With a perfect reveal and one of the best film portfolios of all time, the Emperor is one of the greatest.
Now, young Skywalker, you will die.
Arguing her way into spot number 11 is Leia Organa Solo. The only real important female character in the Star Wars saga, Princess Leia easily makes her way close to the top. Fun jokes, good blaster skills, and being generally smarter than her fellow companions are a few of her most important traits. Always one of the fan favorites, Leia makes her way into spot number 11.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder!
Who's scruffy-looking?
And now, on to the top 10 best Star Wars characters. Fibbing his way into spot number 10 is Lando Calrissian. By far the slickest smuggler in Cloud City, Lando has the perfect confidence for a soon-to-be traitor. Plot twist after plot twist, Lando always finds a way to get involved. He also showed fantastic militaristic leadership during the attack on the second Death Star, piloting the Falcon to victory. With the best mustache in the galaxy, Lando makes his way to 10th place.
How you doing, you old pirate? So good to see you.
Well, he seems very friendly.
Masking his way into spot number 9 is Boba Fett. The baddest bounty hunter in the galaxy is certainly a fan favorite. Masked behind Mandalorian armor, Boba Fett hunts down Han Solo and crew in order to collect a high reward. Though he was defeated in a rather degrading way and got nowhere near enough screen time, the notorious bounty hunter is still one of the most iconic original trilogy characters of all time.
You may take Captain Solo to Jabba the Hutt after I have Skywalker.
He's no good to me dead.
Slicing his way into spot number 8 is Luke Skywalker. Luke is the hero and main character from the trilogy. He has the best character arc and story of all the roles. We follow him on a journey from being a Tatooine farm boy to becoming a Jedi Master. Everything about Luke is likable, from his training to his battles. Perfect with an X-Wing and an impeccable ability at wielding a lightsaber, Luke gains his spot at 8th.
I'll never turn to the dark side. You failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Growling his way into spot number 7 is Chewbacca, the best Wookiee sidekick in the galaxy. Chewie hops planet to planet, ripping the arms out of droid sockets. Not only can he co-pilot the Millennium Falcon, but he also knows how to effectively handle a bowcaster. One of the most likable characters in the saga, he plays the role of the large, lovable brute. Who doesn't love the most popular Wookiee in the solar system? Chewbacca.
That's a good story. I think you just can't bear to let a gorgeous guy like me out of your sight.
I don't know where you get your delusions, laser brain.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Beeping his way into spot number 6 is R2-D2. This astromech droid always has the tool for the job, bickering with his golden friend all while saving the galaxy. Even if you haven't watched Star Wars, you know who R2-D2 is. That's just how iconic this trash can of a mechanic is. With some of the best sound effects and greatest moments in the saga, R2 rolls his way into spot number 6.
Don't blame me. I'm an interpreter. I'm not supposed to know a mouse socket from a computer terminal.
Tricking his way into spot number 5 is Obi-Wan Kenobi. When we first met old Ben, he was just a crazy old hermit living in the desert, but when we learned about his true identity as Jedi Master, his character became incredibly popular. Strong with the Force and always ready to sacrifice himself for the good of his friends, Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of a kind. Even in Force Ghost form, Kenobi was able to teach Luke in the ways of the Force, guiding him from afar. Obi-Wan is the perfect Jedi Master and the 5th best Star Wars character, from a certain point of view.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan. Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Smuggling his way into spot number 4 is Han Solo. Definitely the coolest character in the trilogy, Han Solo flies around the galaxy in the famed Millennium Falcon, transporting spice for crime lords. Han may have been a bit greedy in episode 4, but over time he began to help his friends escape from monsters, aliens, and the Empire. He is a great rebel leader and constantly braves death to get out alive. Playing one of the biggest roles in the saga, Han Solo gets 4th place.
I love you.
I know.
Waddling his way into spot number 3 is Yoda, the smartest Jedi Master in the galaxy. Yoda is by far the best character to come out of The Empire Strikes Back. With hundreds of amazing quotes, Yoda can teach anyone the ways of the Force. Exiled to his newfound home planet of Dagobah, Yoda finds the time to meditate and adapt to the swampy environment. Yoda has taught Jedi for over 800 years, up to the day he died. The small green speciesless alien is one of the most amazing movie characters ever created, especially considering the fact that he's a puppet. When you get a character this fantastic, how couldn't he be near the top, at 3rd place?
No. Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
Wheezing his way into spot number 2 is Darth Vader, the most popular movie villain of all time. Vader has shocked audiences since his first appearance in 1977. Even with an expressionless mask for a face, there's no one more menacing than the Sith Lord himself. Vader is so skilled in the arts of the Sith that he is able to force choke anyone from miles away, sense what others are thinking, and destroy anything that stands in his path. The whole saga of Star Wars revolves around Vader and his path from the dark side back to the light. When his body was burnt on Endor at the end of Episode 6, everyone felt a sense of completion. The most notorious villain in movie history, Vader gets his spot in 2nd place.
He told me you killed him.
No. I am the Father.
And finally, shuffling his way into spot number 1 is C-3PO. For those of you who haven't been around on the channel for very long, you'd probably be very surprised at this outcome. C-3PO has always been my favorite Star Wars character, and still is to this day. There are so many reasons that this golden protocol is at my number 1 spot. Not only does 3PO look very sleek and nice, he is hardworking and always follows orders in order to help his friends. The droid duo of R2 and 3PO is the best pair of friends Hollywood has ever seen. Fluent in over 6 million forms of communication, C-3PO is the perfect comic relief for the Star Wars trilogy, even if it means he has to tell you the odds or get a little beat up. And when you really think about it, are you more of a Han Solo or a 3PO? Of course you're a 3PO. He's a very likable and vital character to the overall story. There isn't a single thing I don't enjoy about C-3PO, and look forward to every scene that he appears in. If you want to hear a more detailed video on why C-3PO is the best Star Wars character, click the link in the description. There isn't anyone else I'd put in my first place other than human-cyborg relations, C-3PO.
You don't have to do this to impress me.
Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
So that's my long list on the top 50 best Star Wars original trilogy characters. Subscribe to StarGeek for weekly Star Wars content. If you agree with this list, disagree, or just enjoyed the video, please shoot that like button at light speed. You can go check out my Facebook page linked in the description below, as it really helps me out when you like my page. If you go over to the page, you will get frequent news on Star Wars Episode 7, StarGeek episodes, memes, and even C-3PO. Also go and check out my new Twitter account, @StarGeekYT, for tons of quick updates. Try clicking on the screen to subscribe, and click on the link to the left for my last video, a Star Wars New Year's celebration. You can also click on the right to watch my explanation video on why C-3PO is the best Star Wars character. Don't forget to like the video, and comment on your own list below the video. Until we meet again in a galaxy far, far away, this has been StarGeek. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around. The golden droid we know is normally C-3PO opaque, but if he were a Force ghost, we'd have to call him C-3PO. I hope you all enjoyed that quick little joke. There are more to come at the end of each subsequent episode after this. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you next time.